Is Portugal Black Girl certified? Absolutely yes. We low-key already knew this based on the amount.
This is so why it's important to say Black American Girl certified, because a lot of the comments were people from the African diaspora saying that they experience racism and it changes based on your passport and accent. And let's break this down. So I'm really much into Black American only. There is a difference when an American, so take out the Black, because when we travel outside this country, we're American first. Americans, even though they're being piss poor right now, there's still a status and power with it. And for the most part, the only thing they know about us is that we're bringing money. So there's not a power imbalance. We are bringing economic power, right? So racism involves power. So yeah, when they hear an American accent, not only are they hearing you're American, which has some status, meaning if something happens to an American in your country, it will go worldwide, versus if it happened to someone from maybe Colombia or Thailand or Africa, because of that machine backing it, right? So in order to understand, racism does involve power. So if it was just my color of my skin, it wouldn't matter that I'm an American, right? So what we experience is prejudice, prejudging that they think that we're from another diasporic group. We're not. Then when they find out, the treatment changes because racism does involve power. That's the game. So as a Black person, a Black American person, you really need to say this, because they're getting in their feels. But the thing is, as a group, we can't take on their issues. We didn't immigrate there. We are visiting. We bring economic money. And then generally, we leave. We're not competing for jobs. We're not competing for housing. They can't look at Black Americans and be like, look how much crime, poverty, drugs, and prostitution they brought into the country. These are just common things I hear about the diaspora. They still have our culture, which they enjoy, because Black American culture is beloved worldwide. So that brings a level of cultural influence and respect. In addition to being an American, the Black part is last. So yes, that's why it's important for melanated travel advisors to say this, because I'm going to be in your comments saying, well, as Black Americans, we just came, brought money, and left. Why would they have an issue? So yeah, they would treat us differently, because why there's no reason to not. If I only knew about a certain country, say Japan, and there's all these different Asians, and then there's Japanese, and the only thing I know about Japanese in Maryland, this is a hypothesis, or just, this isn't real, I'm just saying, if the only thing I knew about, there's all these Asians, and the only ones I know about, the ones from Japan, they just come and spend money and leave, and we really like all of their culture that they provide, and the music, and their singers and artists, where would the tension or hate come from? So to me, it really shows that racism does involve power, because Black Americans are Americans. And so the economic power and media influence, like I said, anything can go, is something that people are aware of. Okay. So yes, there is a difference in treatment. And here's the deal about America. America wouldn't have any of that stuff if it wasn't for us. So they're not powerful. They're not these soft influencers. They're not dominating the Olympics without us. They're not dominating hip hop culture without us. They're not dominating Hollywood culture without us. They're not, all of those things was based off of our talent. So the power that's the United States and that soft influence that goes worldwide, we are part of that. That's our heritage and legacy too. And people know that we didn't vote for Trump as well. We've been very loud. They know that this is not us. They know that we vote more like them. So there's no reason, we don't have a history for them to have any negative aspects. So yes, if it was just about the color, it wouldn't change once they found out I was American. If it was just about the color of my skin, so it's not. It's about racism and power. And so Black Americans, I'm going to tell you again, stop taking on the issues of these immigrant groups, because not all these African groups, because that is an issue that they created with their history with that particular country. Now, as an individual, they may not have done anything, but as a group, they may have moved a certain way. We don't know their history. I'm saying don't take it on. Just be mindful. What have we done, and stand on it? As FBA, we just generally visit, spend money, enjoy ourselves. We like listening to our own music when we're over there. We like talking about and do cultural exchange with people when we're over there. And then we generally leave. There is no history for them to have anything. And there's no imbalance of power because we're bringing money to their economy. And we're bringing our American status. You know what I'm saying? Like, where would there... Yeah, okay, when I hear that it's an American accent, I change it. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it? Why would they treat me the way they treated someone else who has a completely different history and they feel are competing, invaded their place, and brought crime and poverty? Why would they treat us the same way when they know we're not them and that we're different? And all this goes back to say we're doing a lot of delineation as Black Americans. Do not take on their issues. They have their history with these countries. That history is not my history. And because of what this country is, they do know that if there's any incidences, it can and will go worldwide. It will be spoken about everywhere. That makes people a little bit more cautious about what they're doing, because that's also, like I said, you know what I mean? That's also, it's a power. Everything's like status and power, what you can do to them versus what they can do to you. And even me as an expat, I moved to a European country. I built a business in this country. And if they ever kicked me out, I'd be like, all right, peace, deuces. I can go elsewhere. Like my energy isn't like, I'm not here to do anything other than like build a business, have fun. But if you ever were like, we don't want you, I'd be like, bye, you're not my only option. Like, the way we move is different. I'm not depending on this country I moved to. If they said, no, there's 50 other countries I could move to. Now, I've been here, started my business. My business is making money. I'm profitable. I'm like a contributing member to society. So I'm enjoying everything that's here. But even the way we're immigrating, we brought our own money. We brought our own funds. We're bringing our own jobs. And if they ever told us to get out, it'd be like, deuces, bye. Like, we don't need you. I chose you, but we don't need... The whole energy is different. We are not coming in a meek, modest, we need you position. And we don't. We bring in our own. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, our entire energy is different. Just like our energy in America is different. We look at white people in America like, we don't need you at all. Y'all need us. Get out my face. Okay? Like, our energy is different. So the thing is, once they hear the accent and whatnot, they're like, oh, yeah, this is different. They don't need us. And you know what I mean? Like, it's different. You know? And they can take their money elsewhere. So let's be nice, right? Don't take on and the reason I say don't take on African immigrants' issues, because from what I've seen from the diaspora wars, they don't help us at all. They believe all the white supremacist propaganda. And that we're some inferior people. We're not. You get to the States, you'll see how influential we are. But, and they don't take on any of our issues. They use us, but they don't take on any of our issues. So don't take on theirs. Do you have a history with that country that involves those things I said, that these are the common complaints about immigrants? Do you? And it's also a respect thing. Because if you look at immigrants who leave their country, you're like, well, why didn't you stay and fix your country? You people don't have what it takes to make a functioning society like us. It gives them a level of superiority. As Black Americans, we've carved and changed and forced that country in front of the whole entire world to do better and be better. They've seen us fight and make headways and keep fighting and make headways and change and change and change in revolutionary ways over and over again. There is a respect for us doing that. They know we can create a society. They know we can push through in a society. There's a healthy... So, like, Black Americans are different. So if people hear our accent and treat us differently, and they do, especially in Italy, it's because they're not dumb. Like, they know it comes with a different people who don't need them. And in fact, if Black Americans in our social media push start dissing a country, that can go really fast too, just because we have media attention, because our content creators are so good and so watched from all over the world. So what we say gets heard very quickly, and it spreads very quickly. Racism involves power, and we move a certain way. And so we have a certain level of deference, maybe as an American, that others don't. But like I said, that makes sense.